Hi there, it's me, Erica Joy, with the Build and Bloom podcast, and today I am thrilled to have a special guest, Julia Costa, here with me on the podcast today. So welcome, Julia.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really grateful to have this space with you and having this conversation.
Awesome. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So I know some things about you, but I'm excited to dive just a little bit deeper today. And I'd like to start with who you are and how you've become the Julia that we see today. You have an amazing presence on Instagram. So tell me how you got here and, just start with maybe some things that were important to you growing up.
Okay. First of all, I came from a distant country. Okay, I'm from Brazil. I'm Brazilian. So I think this is the first thing that I can talk about myself, that I came to United States 7 years ago. And the reason that I moved here was because I really wanted to learn English. So that was the main thing. And being here for 7 years, I feel so blessed to be in this country. And it's a dream to be here. So growing up, definitely
Did you take English in school, or you just wanted to learn it in order to just broaden your horizons, and that's why you came, just to learn the language and be able to communicate with more people?
At the time, I was doing journalism in Brazil. I had 100% scholarship there.
Wow.
And I was participating of an internship process, and I didn't pass because my English was not enough at the time.
Wow.
And I realized, oh my God, if I, the job opportunities that I dream with, I have to develop my English. You have to be better.
Goodness.
So that was the main reason. And I almost went to Scotland.
Wow.
I was for months on a process of moving to Scotland before I came to the United States.
Oh my goodness.
So the main reason was like, I want to learn this language and then come back to Brazil. I had 2 years that I could have my scholarship paused.
Okay.
And I zero imagined that I would be here for 7 years now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But here you are.
Here I am.
That is so awesome. And you've had just a lot of different experiences since coming to the U.S. What was it like initially when you first moved here? What was that initial transition like for you?
I was extremely curious about America, and I wanted to learn and connect with people and be and participate. And so my family told me, hey, look, if you really want to make this work, you have to be with Americans, make friends, everything in your life.
Really assimilate, right.
Exactly. Don't be on the Brazilian community, because every state has their own, tiny community.
Sure.
So I follow what my family told me.
Wow.
And so
that's so interesting to me, because I would imagine that your family would want you to be in that community in order to make sure that you're okay in a way. So that's interesting that they encourage you to really broaden your horizons there. That is exciting. Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah. What a family.
Yeah, so that was how I was feeling in the beginning. So I was a little spongy. I still am, because for more that I'm here, almost a decade, I always have things to learn of culture and, all of that. But
what are some of the biggest cultural differences that you found between growing up in Brazil and maybe growing up in America, if you've noticed, or just general differences?
Body language, definitely body language, because the personal space, how we perceive our personal space is different for Latin families.
Really?
So it's super different. Super different. So on a scale, I would say if you are in a bank or in a grocery store in Brazil, you'll be closer to the person in the line.
Really?
Which I love the fact that in America it's not like that.
They get a little spaced?
So we respect more the personal space, and that's awesome. But at the same time, in our personal relationships, we tend to hug more, to touch, and that it's a way of showing affection. And here in America, this is just if you are super intimate and your closest relationship. So I would say the way we we are physically and
Sure.
in our environment, this is the biggest difference, I would say.
That is
Yeah.
that is neat. Have your parents come here since you've been here to visit?
My mom, yes, she
Okay.
already came to visit me, and my dad, he lives here as well. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
very cool. I'm so glad that you had a positive experience, and that you are so successful here. It's really incredible in just 7 years since you've been here that you've done so many of the things that you've been doing. Do you still have an interest in journalism?
Definitely. I bring that the capacity of making questions and being curious, that it are tools that I definitely use in real estate, because we have to have that that capacity of understanding what is happening behind the scenes.
Sure.
Because a lot of times what we communicate verbally, it's not necessarily what is really going on. So
Most of the time, probably.
yeah. So
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
So all those
Skills.
tools and skills I
Sure.
definitely use on my day to day, and I do. A lot of times I feel, oh my God, I have the curiosity and I wanted to deepen certain subjects. So
Sure.
femininity and how to be a woman in the world today with so many changes, and how all of that it give me I have a lot of interest.
Sure.
And you have many ways of showing that in journalism. It's always on my head, like thinking things. So
Before I became a real estate agent, I was a teacher and an administrator, and I found a lot of the tools that I learned in education have been really helpful to me. So it sounds similar to you in your journalism background in terms of your curiosity, inquisitiveness, and also your ability to kind of read people, maybe, and the things that they're not telling you are equally as important as the things that they are, and kind of that why. Why are they hesitant to bring this part of themselves out to the public? One of the things that I respect so much about you, Julia, is your openness to share, your experiences, and also you just seem like you have a lot of passions of things that you're interested in. And I think one of the qualities that makes a woman beautiful and certainly ageless is that spark or that passion that they have for life and the curiosity. So I absolutely love and respect that about you. Turning to femininity and feminism, maybe, who have been the women in your life that have really helped to guide you as a woman, or who you really respect, either people that you know or people that you don't know, that you've always kind of looked toward for that female energy and validation?
first of all, thank you for your kindness and for your eyes of beauty towards me. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome.
And for me, it's really easy. I would say the women of my family. So I have two grandmas that they are really active on raising me. So one of them, the mother of my mother, she today in Brazil, she's a psychologist and sociologist.
Oh,
so
wow.
She was extremely important on building my intellectual, to developing my intellectual side.
Sure.
So sharing books with me and always, let's go to the museum, let's, explore the city. So she was really important she was that person who always believed on me.
Yes.
And she was always pouring her point of view. So she was the woman who, already traveled to India and Europe.
Wow.
And so my desire of living abroad actually was a lot of seeds that she put it inside of my heart.
Absolutely.
So she and how kind she is, and how she had a lot of, she's so good with listening as well. I think it's because she's a psychologist.
Yes, probably so. She really knows how to listen for understanding and guide.
Yes, and my other grandma as well. She always she's the most firm praying lady that I know in my whole life.
Wow.
So every night she prays for our whole family. She prays for all the kids and the grandkids and for everyone. So I learned a lot with her about surrendering myself to God and how that relationship, and even when I was far away from the place I am right now, she was there also planting the seeds and showing me how to guide life in this other way of really surrendering myself to the will of God. So I definitely, and they are always there for me. So definitely they are inspirations for me.
That is so incredible. And I love watching your faith journey, some of the things that you share. For me, I did not grow up with any sort of organized religion, but I truly believe that in generations past, someone was praying for me and my family. They didn't necessarily know me at that time. And it's just,
beautiful.
Thank you. It's just a wonderful thing that you grew up knowing that your grandmother on your father's side was praying for you and praying for future generations. And I hope to instill that also in my children, because there's so much power in that. Were you raised in a particular church, and are you still practicing in that church?
I had, like you just said, you were not raised on a organized religion, so I had this influence from like my grandmas, but my parents, they were not going to church every Sunday. That was not part of the routine in my family. So that was something that I learned and I discovered and I deepened here in the United States. And that it's a lot because of Charleston.
I think so too. Same here. When I moved down here, that's when, after I went to a few different churches and I just I studied history. I was a history teacher. So I always loved history. I did the Bible as literature and these types of things. And I love Eastern religions as well. So I've studied those things in an academic setting or an educational setting. But once I started to kind of feel things and see things, I would ask myself when dealing with children, what is it about Johnny, who's overcome so many things? What is it that gave him that courage, that gave him that strength? And the only conclusion that I could come to was God. There was a piece of God in Johnny. And it was very touching. And from there, my faith began to grow, and I began to meet with some other teachers and people in that building and just really learn more about the Bible and Jesus and who Jesus was. But I wonder, there's something special about the Southeast, and I'm no offense to any other parts of the country, but I've just never seen anything like that in terms of church in the community as I've seen in South Carolina or in the Charleston area.
It's for sure. I believe that there is a unseen part of the spiritual realm. So when we think about the Wi-Fi, we don't see the Wi-Fi, but the Wi-Fi is there, right?
Sure.
And I cannot stop thinking when I think about the Charleston area that is called the Holy City for a reason, and how many churches we have and how we cannot see it, but the immense amount of prayers and the energy that we have around the city, and that every workplace we go, and it's natural and it's welcome to speak about God.
Yes.
And it is, and people really, they want to dive into and develop their spiritual heart and their spiritual eyes and connect with God. So for me, like you just described, how was your journey? For me, it was definitely, I think it's on the air here. And when you come here, and if you're really open and searching for something bigger than yourself, the path is going to show up, and the people are going to show up, and the invitations and places. And this was what happened with me, because you said about Western cultures. I mean, knowledge, there is a lot of knowledge out there about so many ways of viewing life.
Absolutely.
But for me, I just felt grounded and certain about like my faith after I really started going to church here, and the things that I felt was really different than the other things that I explored, but at the same time they were important for me to see, wow, I learned all those things, and now that is
is cool.